What's going on, D, Mrs. Stewart? What's good, baby? Shit, this is the best we got for it. Oh, Fisher J. Mill, what's up, family? Y'all welcome in, welcome in. Can y'all hear me? Hey, baby, what's good, Happy Mac? Um, happy TikTok to you. Hey, Shanna. Hey, Shanna. There go my Shanna. Matter of fact, man, I got busy. I was thinking about y'all yesterday and want to shoot y'all a kite. See how you and Jason doing over there. Miss Jones Truth, what's going on? Uh, yeah, I hope y'all getting settled in good and everything. So, Mrs. Stewart, I'm gonna see. Let me see if I can drop this link. That's the only reason why I went through StreamYard and I ain't finna pay them no more. So I don't know. Uh, let me see here. Let me see. Ah, shit, I ain't did this in so long. Hold on. Invite. Copy that. Okay, it's copied. Come down here. Miss Jones Truth, it is yes ma'am. I almost said something real naughty. But yes, Lord Jesus, it is cold down here. There go the link right there. If anybody want to come up. Hey, Nikki Walker. I don't know what it feel like over in your neck of the woods, Miss Jones. But ooh, baby, and that wind, don't let the wind blow. My goodness. Wind blow, it's a wrap. And it ain't even got as cold as it's supposed to be getting tonight. I don't know if we're gonna get all the ice. I don't know if we're gonna get all the snow. I don't know what's gonna come of it. Happen Max said calling the well diggers behind. That's comparable to what I was about to say. Uh, there is the link. Anybody who wants to come up. I'm not used to having to do that just so you can talk to people. My God, I tell you that other app over there sure will spoil folk. But y'all peep game. So y'all at 32 degrees already. Ooh, Shanna. Shanna said, damn, it's 26. Man, it might be real, y'all. I know what the one. By the way, if I sound too loud, I apologize, y'all. I got my earbuds in because of the device I'm on. The mic ain't the best on it no more because it's old. So I got my earbuds in. I hope the sound quality is good. I don't know if I sound muffled or clear or unclear, but if it's all janky, God dog it. If it's all janky, y'all let me know so I can do better. So I can do better. Uh, Shannon said it's cold AF. The irony of coming from well up north and then being down here in the south, and then it be colder than shit. As Max said, it was 20. Sun went down. Now it's 13. God, good gracious. Ugh. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, sun's still up over this way a little bit, boy. When I say it's cold, it's cold. When all your animals be trying to stay in the sun. Oh, there she is. I forgot you got to look backstage and all this. Add the stage. Hey, Mr. Stewart. Welcome in, buddy.
What's up, family? It feels good
What's
to be
going?
back communing again.
Hmm. After the services yesterday,
Oh
boy,
no,
your videos tickle me some serious, boy.
man! After we just gave the resolutions and be resolved and all of that, and here we are.
Here we is. Here we is. Miss Stewart, why you think they got the first off? I didn't think it was gonna be back. I thought it would be at least Monday or Tuesday. But why you think they got everybody live function turned off over there?
I don't even know. I think now, y'all, you know how I can go out on a little bit of a limb, but
Hmm.
stay with me now. So, what I
Okay.
think it is that the args is tomorrow, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they don't want anybody living it up, or they want them to, but they want to turn them shits off for now until tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I think that that's what it was, because it was ironic. I was talking to my sister, and she was like, "Oh, we was talking about something totally different, unrelated." And she was like, "Oh, somebody just posted that TT was back up." I was like, "What?" And I immediately I say, I'm clicking, and the first thing I did was went to that live function, and it said womp womp womp. No, not
Ah,
on. So
not today, man.
not on this good day, but I'm you know what, I'm really puzzled, because I really and truly think that they did that just in time for the ARG tomorrow. Honest.
Mm-hmm. Could be. It could be. I mean, I don't think that's a far-fetched theory. Um, Happy Mac, yeah, yeah. So TikTok is back. It's back up, but you can't go live on it. You can only create and post videos as of now. And I think it's only for 90 days as it stands currently. I don't know what's gonna happen day one or even Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. I have no clue. Excuse me. But to what Mrs. Stewart was saying, uh, eh, it's just a lot of people shocked that it's back, and I think it's something iffy about tomorrow. I still don't. First, I don't personally wish no harm on nobody, any president, the ones I like, don't like, whatever, whomever. I just don't. It just ain't in my pedigree to go around wishing harm on folks who ain't did shit to me personally. So, I know it's gonna be cold, and we got this winter vortex, and what's going on, Jason? Man, you better get in here and enjoy yourself. Shit. Melly, what's going on, baby? What's going on, Melly? I see. I figured that was you. Hey, Adina, welcome in, baby. Welcome in. Y'all better get in here and enjoy yourself. But I feel like it's more than just the weather, because there's been a whole bunch of real cold, and not hell up in that part of the country. Most inaugurations is cold, but I feel like they moved that shit inside the rotunda because uh I don't know. They ain't came out and said nothing that I done seen, but I'm just speculating here. I don't know if it could have been some potential threats or somebody was worried about something or something. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just a lot of weird shit happening.
It is. And but this is the thing. The past ARGs
Hmm.
was outside, right? Even
Right.
when sitting prezes before, it was outside, and it was s- cold than a mama jamma. Like,
Yep.
it was
Yep.
cold, cold. And now all of a sudden, some ain't
Yeah.
cleaning the milk.
Some ain't cleaning the milk, baby. I think they know something that they ain't putting out publicly, but they moved that joint inside, I think, because of potential threat. And it's not just that. How weird is it that with all this stuff going on with the band, Mel, you out that way. Cali, how y'all doing? How my California people doing? Because it's just like I know it's still some things are burning out yonder way, but have you noticed that with the exception of uh over on TT, and I can't say I'm gonna be fair about this. I will say uh YouTube is up in the air. I don't know 100%, but these files and stuff, man, what the ain't nobody really talking about it except for the people who talk about it over there. But as far as the news side of things, it's almost like they done all been put out and everybody back to normal.
Yeah, it seems that way, because what Majestic always say, they will run something, until it, until it bleeds out, and
Yeah.
then that's that. It's like, all right, you
Oh
got
yeah. If it bleeds, it leaves. If it bleeds, it leaves.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So this TT was the lead, I mean, and
Hmm.
what a freaking curtain call it was while I'm clapping.
Huh.
they
Yeah.
It was a I mean, like, seriously, the
Yeah.
Academy Award goes to, and that's what we're on right now, which is wild.
Man,
It's
if y'all go look at 2028, Mr. Stewart, what the plans they got for over there. But Mr. Stewart, very quickly, I'd also like to welcome in. So, all right, here's the thing, right? So, me and this bloke, we go a ways back. Don't get to talk with him much, right? We live in different parts of London. But Rambo, uh, thank you. Like, come on in, man. Talk to
How
me,
you
man.
doing, Jay? You all right? How you doing, Stuart?
What's
Mister,
going
how you
on, man?
doing? I'm fine, thank you very much. I was
Good
like,
to
wait a
hear
minute.
from you.
Cut, yo, you're up. I was like, wait a minute. Like, it's a Sunday. Jay's getting stuff off his chest.
It's been a while, bro. It's been a
How you
while, but
doing,
I'm
man? I'm
here.
good.
I'm here.
How's everybody in the chat? Yeah, I kind of see the point of what you were saying, man. It's crazy. But
Hmm.
sometimes people have to realize while we're playing checkers, they're playing chess.
Very true.
So it's a crazy world, but obviously that kind of shows the power that I saw a lot of people like they're crying. I feel bad for them because obviously that's their um what would you say, their income is suddenly just
Hmm.
removed. That kind of shows that the kind of power that anybody, if you just have it in one place, it kind of like show the power that they can do. It shows it really the that we all are literally in a game
Yes.
that is getting played out little by little. But I
Yes, sir.
respect. It would be a tragedy if it does go completely off the US market. That would be a disaster because it's not just that; it's like businesses themselves that promote themselves. It would
Hmm.
affect them in a major way because that's a lot of funds and a lot of customers coming from all over the world coming through that streamline is gone.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be beneficial for any people that like to collect taxes from any established government to actually do that because it's a loss of money for the government themselves.
Right. Right. It is a huge loss.
Hmm.
A
So
huge
I don't think
loss.
they had any choice, but they had to put it back on because people are people. We still have some power. Because, like, for
Yeah.
example, if you had a place that didn't didn't reduce the price of a product, to say, and
Hmm.
everybody just stopped going there, and then they have
Right.
that product just sitting there, it's their loss, not ours.
Oh, yeah. I agree, man. I agree. I think people gonna walk away from this experience with different perspectives. But the way you started this conversation is one of the most profound for me. I mean, we all know it as adult humans in the back of our mind that all of this stuff is flaky and it's susceptible and it can go away at any moment. But the connectivity that we have with one another through some of these social media apps
Hmm.
is it is literally vital to some people's lives and livelihood. And it can just be cut out. Last night I was on the live. Man, they did the shit like hell 4 hours early. It was like
Wow,
8:30 something. It was crazy. They did it like 3 or 4 hours early. And right mid live stream, I got a notification. I stopped everything. I started telling my people about Mr. Stewart was in the live last night. And it's just
wow.
like, yeah, it's like Dunzo. Just midstream, just cut it off.
Oh,
Uh
that's lovely though. Still.
yeah, that ain't cool, man. I encourage people who trust each other enough to share whatever information they choose to share with each for folk you really want to keep in touch with, be it a phone number. It don't have to be your actual phone number. It could be a WhatsApp number or
Hmm.
text-free number or email or anything, just so people can keep correspondence with one another because we don't know when any of this could just go away again at a whim. So it's it's crazy, man.
That is true. That is so true in all shape and form. Like, because it's like, if you lost your phone, Jay,
Hmm.
you kind of like lost a little bit more than your.
Oh yeah,
I think it would be worse to lose your phone than to lose your wallet.
right, right. Because hell, yeah, because most people's wallets is in their phones these days.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't even. It went from just not carrying cash no more to carrying cards, your debit, your credit card. Now some people just tap, pay for everything. So yeah, that's a very important point, man. I've lost my phone briefly for about a minute and a half. I was at the checkout, and I don't know how I missed it. I don't know how the other dude missed it. Got all the way out to the car and was like, "Where my phone at?" Went back inside. It was still on the count. The attendant, the little cash register lady, she still had it and shit. But man, that sense of panic, that
Hmm.
sense of dread, like all my life, my information, my banking information, my this, my that. We live in the digital age, folks.
We haven't fully adapted to the digital age, but this is like a taste of what to come. Because obviously, once we go fully cashless or like a physical item, like in terms of
Hmm.
digital currency or whatever, and everything else becomes more of a digital factor in our lives, that's when we're going to really. Can you imagine if you actually went to the like, we went to say we're in the future and everything becomes sort of everything is digitalized, and you have to use something that has a connectivity to something to travel, and you
Hmm.
have done something wrong and it comes flags up on their system to say that you have committed such as such as such, and they
Right.
stop you from accessing any buildings, anything. You're just stuck there, so they'll just pick you up.
Hey, Rambo, you know how much we talk about that, man. You know how much we talk about that. I want to get Mr. Stewart back in the conversation as well, but I do want to ask you this. From what you see, as far as the going zones and dealings in America, which one do you think is ahead more with that becoming a reality? Do you think it's more prevalent in the UK, or
It,
do you think it's
we, we
more
we we
prevalent in
have
the
it
US?
here. We have
I
it here.
know, I know.
And right now, like they're trying to push out this camera that they can actually see what you're doing inside of your vehicle when you're traveling. And if you're committing
Uh,
anything like being on your phone, they know who you are.
yep,
They got you clear as day. But these technologies
yep.
always been here. It's only when they need to seem to turn it on. Because I remember when we
Hmm.
had a massive riot in the UK, when I mean a big one in London, um, for somehow, some reason, they had the face recognition all up and ready to go, and people that was wearing balaclava or whatever, they picked them up like they were nothing. In weeks, all of them were behind bars. So this technology
See,
is always there.
yeah,
It's just that when they need to use it, is
exactly. I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
nah. That's it. That's what I had to say.
Well, Mr. Stewart may have some questions for you about life in the UK. I was gonna say abroad, but it's only abroad for us Yanks over here. Like,
You're not even Yanks.
welcome in.
You're not even a Yank. Yank to me is like New York.
Well, because it is. But see, the thing is, for most British people, see, you a well seasoned man. You geographically
But obviously,
inclined.
because I
But
wasn't born in England, nah, this is my like adopted home. I'm originally from
exactly.
Jamaica, so I'm still Jamaican. So I understood the how people, but even in Jamaica, they call them Yankees. Sometimes I was like, okay, wow,
Hmm.
this is crazy.
Yep. You could be from
Hey, Blue
Florida.
Lotus,
Hey, Blue Lotus, what's going on, Mama Nita? Mrs. Stewart, like, so did you have any questions for Rambo, or like with the particulars of the
Eco
conversation?
neighbor,
Eco, oh shit, Eco, we're here. I ain't even see Eco. Man, what's up, Rob? What good, bro? What's poppin', Pimpin'? Shit, you better get in here and enjoy yourself, boy.
Yes, I do have a couple of questions. No, I'm just playing. Rambo.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. I don't take offense by it.
Hey,
So,
Miss Stewart, real quick, Rambo do a pretty good me too. He called himself impersonating Southern folk. He do a pretty good one. I gotta give it to him.
he
Yeah,
does.
I do have a little bit of an accent, so it just depends on which one I come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
It's like a lot of people like they live in England, obviously, but I grew up watching television in Jamaica, so I was hooked on the accent copying and stuff. But I used to watch a lot of westerns. Now you say, sir, like you know that little thing over there. I want you to shoot it right between the eyes and make sure you don't miss. Now, Billy Bob, it's always good to see you. But wait a minute, the chicken heads you got over there. Let me have some of that.
I-
It's all good.
Man.
oh my goodness, that is an excellent accent, Rambo. Oh my
Thank you. I
goodness.
really appreciate that.
Very well, I thank you. Now let me stop.
Yeah, the way that you guys, the weirdest thing about it, Jay's got it on lock in terms of the Cockney accent.
Yes,
Yeah, you're going Bridgerton.
I, I am.
Okay, my dear. Mrs. Stewart, how was your day? It's been lovely to have you. Would you like some crumpets with tea, my lovely?
oh my goodness. Yes, yes. So
Yeah, type of back them chicken heads.
I know, right? I have a question. So, how does that make you feel? I know you mentioned about the cameras inside of, you said vehicles, correct?
Now they're on the side of the street, so when you pass by, like we have a law that you're not meant to use your mobile phone while driving. So these
Mm-hmm.
cameras literally see everything that you do. They can even tell you what you're using as well. So if you're on the phone and what you're swiping through, they can see all of that.
It's like X-ray vision, basically.
Beyond it's beyond X-ray vision, clear
Right.
as day. Like you're looking from my eyes, and I can see you in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't even say, "Oh, it wasn't me." Everything's
Oh,
there.
oh my goodness, that is wild. How do you feel about that? Like,
I don't mind because I'm not doing any illegal activities. I don't really. If I'm doing something wrong, fine, just throw me the thing. But it is scary to know that obviously everything that they know, everything we've already thought of, it's coming into play. I didn't because I already knew these things were coming into play, so I'm not really too worried about it.
right.
As
So,
if you, hmm?
is that the only spot where they have cameras at that they have vocalized to everyone there?
London has the most cameras approximately in the world, I think,
That
for a
was my
city.
last information. Yeah.
We
Even
have
more than Shanghai. Even
you
more than
can't
the U.S. Yeah.
you can't count. You can't
That
escape. They will catch you eventually. You might think you've gotten away, but nah, they'll get you.
that
Uh,
is
it, it,
wild.
Mr. Stewart, I was watching a documentary about 3 years ago, and they was talking about the propensity, just how immense, how many cameras exist in the UK, and I think it's a dude. He worked like maybe 3 kilometers from his home, which is really good. As far as distance wise, I think he was on, and this is was part of the documentary. He was on over 300 cameras. 300 cameras. I'm
What?
serious, man.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah. Between his home and where he worked, everything. Whether you drive or whether you catch the trolley. For those who don't know, the trolley is like you catch the bus or whatever.
yeah. The
At a
bosses have camera.
The buses got cameras. If you at an intersection, you probably on about 20 different cameras from 20 different angles. If you inside of a shop, of course you on 5 or 6 cameras inside that shop, and then it's probably another 3 cameras that can see inside that shop if they have glass pane windows. So it's just this is where we at. And I also want y'all to know, family, uh, they can see inside your house. I really want you to understand that shit, whether you got bricks or whether you got a wood frame home or whatever, the same technology that Rambo talking about. If you ever see a little funny looking van sitting across from your house and it's just there, oddly, yeah, they can straight with that same type technology.
But
How
Jay,
many
they don't
people
even
in
need
there?
to do the parking up thing, right? Once you have a device that has a visual optical inside of it, and is connected to a Wi-Fi, or even if it's not connected through a Wi-Fi, even if you remove the battery of it,
Mm-hmm.
there's
Yep.
technology these days that don't require much to be used. They have some stuff that already have a little tiny battery on the motherboard or the circuit board that still activate the circuit board.
Yeah.
That's more military stuff. So
Yeah.
this technology already exists. So you can remove your battery from your phone. They will be able to find you still. They just pinpoint your
Mm-hmm.
thing off your location where it pinned off something else, and they'll find you.
Yep.
But they can look through
Yep.
everything if they want to. Just though they don't, but they will one
Yeah.
day.
One day soon, probably. So all my people out here who ain't paid them parking tickets and shit, and
Oh
you got
yeah,
them little low level warrants and shit. Oh, them people know where you at. If they wanted to, it's just they just don't do it because they just don't do it. But they could.
because
Yeah.
remember, Jay, right? If they could find a man in a cave who was the most wanted man, or wherever, they knew exactly where he is, and they knew which home to go to. Because if they didn't, they would have to rake through a whole lot of houses in that community to find him. But they knew
Right.
exactly where he was. They went in, did what they had to do, and he was out. So that
Yeah.
just shows us that we cannot escape. If they want to find you, they will find you. Simple.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And the best thing about off grid is the peace because you ain't never really gonna be off grid the way you could have a century ago or 150 years ago. Baby, now it's drones be looking at your ass take a shower outdoors. Even if you in the middle of the deepest part of the woods, unless you got a whole canopy up over you, which means you don't have no direct sunlight. Excuse me, it'll be a drone flying over your shit. You will never hear it, never see it, not know it's there, and
Hmm.
it's just took all your everything as far as what you think is privacy. What's going on, Tiffany? My man Eco Naboff in here, y'all. I just dropped the link if anybody else want to come up. AJ, my brother, what is going on, family? You better get in here and enjoy yourself. By the way, y'all share this live out if you feel like it. Typically, I would be over on the TikTok machine. Yeah, I said TikTok on YouTube. So what? So what? I said it. I said it out loud with my whole
You
chest.
call it TikTok, I call it the Tiki Talk.
Yeah, TikTok. Yeah, the TikTok machine. Yeah, that old TikTok. Um, but it's a lot going on in the world, man, and I'm glad that that other platform, that OTT, because we had a funeral for her yesterday. Some of y'all was in attendance. Mrs. Stewart came yesterday for Tikiana Toxin is
Wow.
what we call it. Yeah, Tikiana Toxin, and
Hmm.
we had we bereaved yesterday. We grieved and we laid her to rest and uh
May she rest in peace.
yeah, well she back now, man. The Lord had other plans, baby. It wasn't even a full 3 days. It was, and she resurrected.
She had the defibrillator available.
She came back. She came back.
She
Um,
sure did. And I was like, girl, you rose faster than Jesus himself, girl.
Yeah.
Is happening.
And he was physically struck with 3 nails and a few thorns in the head and the side, and he had to take a break.
Yes. I mean, if
yeah,
the tune wasn't even put up, I mean, we did the resolutions, we did the opening, closing, final viewing,
Hmm.
literally a final viewing. And here she is. She was there. I mean, we had the fume food, we had all of that. I mean, big auntie. cooked a mean pound cake,
Yeah.
and you know we
Everybody had Hennessy pouring on the land. There was liquor on the floor for the passing of such and such, and everybody was having a good time. And someone decided to say, "Hey, 1 second, guys, let me plug out the speaker. Let's have an announcement." Yeah, we're back.
right, exactly. And it was just like, yeah. She came back and she was like, hey y'all, hey. And I'm like, girl, you had us weeping.
Listen,
The
money
whole thing.
is behind a lot of this as well. So if there's some purchasing power, someone has some serious purchasing power, it can be done without realizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. You could buy a
Mm-hmm.
new arm, a new leg. I mean, back out there walking. So hey,
A new
Absolutely.
everything. And I
uh
was like, girl, this is crazy. But I mean, this is just me. And like I say, country, I can, go down a rabbit hole of certain things, but I just be thinking differently. Like this was all performative for a specific reason. And then they were like,
Very
the
much so.
August
Very much so.
tomorrow, you know.
yeah, but don't worry, Mister. When you go down the rabbit hole, I'll just dangle a carrot at the end of a fishing hook, and you just be popped back up. Because when you go down those holes, just be careful what information you take in your brain. That
Oh
could make the
yeah,
hole close on you.
I do, but it's like sometimes I be thinking like, wait a minute, it's a fly in the milk. It is we way beyond past the point of some ain't clean in the milk. We see what the thing is that's in the milk, and it's the freaking fly.
Hmm.
And
Absolutely.
that fly is I'm not gonna drink the milk after the fly been in it.
No,
You know, like this was for a bigger scope of something. The something, don't know.
how do
Still
you
Hmm.
you see? People always think like, oh, you control the minds of people, right? Is how you do stuff. But sometimes there's a distractions, a multitude of distractions can make you not see what is happening on the other side sometimes,
absolutely.
and this could be a distraction. Don't know. And I'm trying not to worry about that. I got bills to pay, so I don't need to worry. That's
Right.
what I'm trying
Well,
not to distract.
Rambo. I always now, Rambo. You know me. We've been down this road before.
Plenty of
I
times.
all I always ask people whenever something is considered a distraction, what is it that you are being distracted from?
You will
That's
never
the
know.
real question. Well,
You will never
well,
know.
well, then, how can we reach the conclusion that we being distracted if you don't know what you're being distracted from?
Because it
It's
will come out
got
later. Something will happen where it comes out later. And then
okay,
you'll be
but
like,
hold on,
oh,
hold on, bro. Now,
oh,
by that logic, what if whatever comes out later is also deemed a distraction by somebody else?
that is true. Point in case. We
I
don't
think
even know.
that I think all of it is relevant, but as far as the performative side of it, I think Mrs. Stewart got a point because
Mhm.
hell, it would they couldn't wait to turn this shit back on themselves because I'm sure they had figured by the hour that this app was down how much money the economy was losing. Literally by the hour when the post shut down over here in America, on the eastern seaboard and in the south,
Mhm.
it was literally like tens of millions of dollars per hour.
Yeah, that
They
ends
could
up into
they
billions.
Yeah, yeah, and they was just as eager to turn this shit back on as we was to have it back. So hold on, man, my man back here, Eco, I ain't even see you, bro. Let me get
Hey, Nico.
Hey, what up? What up? What up, fam?
man.
Enjoying
Welcome
this
in, family. What's
conversation,
up? Much
brother.
love to you and Gigi. Much love to
Blessings,
you and Gigi.
blessings. Hey,
Much
say
love.
hello to TV for me.
So, Rambo, what's going on, Rambo?
I'm not
What's
too
going
bad,
on
Nico.
with
How
you?
you doing?
Doing well. Doing well. S- I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm just trying to join in the conversation. So
Yeah,
y'all,
yeah, yeah,
please
yeah, yeah.
continue to do what y'all
Yeah, you could
Well, I
put
got a
in 2 cents as
because
well. Like,
well, to be perfectly honest with you, country already understand that. I understand there's multiple strings that's pulling all of these puppets all over the place. And the thing
mm-hmm.
is, I'm trying my best to put it in a kind word, but you got to understand that no one in position of control cares about the individual person, period. It's all strategic. And when you go to war and you sacrifice people and you willing to give away people, like individual people lives, you got to
hmm
understand this thing is so against you that it has nothing to do with what we would emotionally connect with or intellectually connect with, period. It has
yeah,
nothing to do with what we would reason with, what we would think about, what we would dream about, what we would feel about, period.
hmm
And it can be so minute or so like you'll be like, really? If you look at some of the most wealthy, richest people, and you have a dialogue, you have a conversation outside of what we don't know. If you just have a true conversation with them, you realize the intellect is so shallow,
hmm
and whether we like it or not, our lives are in their hands based on the decision that they make. So it is what it is. But I say form your tribe, form your group, form
yeah.
your land, your personal space, and organize what you need to do, and make sure you protect about everything you have, everything you got. Period.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Uh, what's up, So Yini? So Yini, long time no see, baby. Good to see you. Tuba Chat, my man. You better get in here and enjoy yourself, sir. All y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. What's up, Tuba Chat? Long time no see. As to what Eco said, I'm gonna say this shit in a little bit more cynical fashion. Look here, any rich person who done got their shit out the mud, they'll cut your throat while you sleeping. They will cut your damn throat while you sleeping. That's just my opinion. I can't prove it per se, but with the exception of anybody who went out there and won the Mega Millions or some shit, and that's how you became a multi-millionaire because you just happened to pick the right numbers and God was on your side and the moon and stars aligned on your behalf, with the exception of them. Anybody who grew up without shit and turned into a billionaire or a multi-millionaire, oh, you hurt somebody. You hurt somebody on the way up.
Plenty,
That's just
probably.
my opinion.
Plenty. Not just one.
Yes, sir.
All of
Plenty.
them have. All of them have. Every single one of them have. They've taken things that it doesn't truly belong to them and put their name to it, to say the least. you know.
Facts. Facts.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to kind of dig here, but
Now go
think
ahead, bro.
about this, fam. Take your time. I'm serious. We got AI, we got artificial intelligence, we got Google, we got all this different stuff, right? Take
Mm.
your time
Hmm.
and look at the history. I don't care whether you talking about Obama, I don't care whether you talking about Clinton, I don't talk Bush, I don't care whether you talking about Britain, whatever. Take your time. You see connection. It's all a small little group. Whether it's music industry, whether it's fuel, whatever. They're small segments of people, and they all family connected. And
Yeah.
Hmm.
unless you married into that situation, or like my boy Country says, you somehow circumstance get into a situation which is like 1% of the 1% of the 1% of the 1%, whether like it or not, most of this stuff is all integral. It's connection, networking, and they all connected, and it's not in your favor.
Never has been.
At all. At all. I was telling the
Period.
story. I think Mrs. Stewart was in there. I was over on the TikTok machine, and I was just telling the story the other day. Me and one of my professors, one of my world history professors, got we didn't get into it, but we had a long back and forth because I wasn't letting this shit go, right. So we got some shit that's due on Friday, and we covering the last part of this. And I'm sitting in class, and he like to do his lectures uninterrupted. He'll provide time for questions, but this shit was bugging me, so my hand kept going up because he kept saying something, but he didn't say all of it. We was talking about the French, not prior to the French Revolution. We were basically talking about French history and Germanic history. And bro kept saying, yeah, and both sides of the war were struggling and wondering about funding and resources were running low and the coffers were running low, so they found funding from the same people. Well, I said, who is them?
We know them.
I said, I said, who the fuck?
No.
Well, who the fuck is them people? So we gonna have a conversation about what happened in whatever the 11th or 10th century between what's currently France and currently Germany. But you gonna skip over the people who got enough bread back then to finance both sides of the war, and we just gonna keep on talking and shit. You want us to write papers, but you don't want us to talk about that part of the conversation. Man, fuck out of here with that shit. And we end up, and he was like, well, Mr. Country, if you'll just wait till after class. So I did wait till after class. I raised my hand 2 more times. I waited till after class. I set up office hours right then. Right then, I set up office hours. We gonna go back to your office and we gonna talk about this shit. You up here teaching people. Who are these motherfuckers who got all this money? Enough money to fund two countries back in the 10th and 11th century.
They did it to every single one of them. They did it in the first, the second, and the future. They've done it through every single one of those. Every single one of them. And it's diabolical to think that they cared about anybody, because if they're playing two sides, all they're doing, both sides is making them money.
Right.
You send your kids to
Period.
go fight for the country. Yeah, we're gonna defend the country. They're invading. No, you're not. You're just playing in their chess game. You're just a pawn.
Hmm.
Exactly. And I say that as a
God,
soldier. I look, I have
come
been a
on,
soldier.
Rambo.
Most of
Come on,
y'all who follow
Rambo.
me know that. Huh?
No, I'm just Rambo hit it spot on, man. This is the thing. Can you imagine right now? Just say your mama got one piece of cake. One piece of cake, right? This your mama, straight up. She owns the cake. And then she says, I gotta give it to one of my children. And then you, country, Rambo,
Hmm.
and
Mhm.
Miss Stu, just say we all siblings. And we say, we need a piece of this cake, and I want a piece of this cake. What we gonna do? Do I say, oh, I'm eco, I'm finna give it to Rambo. And Rambo say, oh, I'm finna give it to country. Oh, Miss Stewart, we finna get no. Let me tell you, prosperity comes in the midst of war.
Mhm.
Prosperity comes in the midst of controversy. When you look at social media, when you look at anything, the moment that you have conflict and opposition and controversy, the moment you will find benefits and just like abundance in the midst of all of that. And sometimes when there's
Hmm.
peace, they create war. Bottom
Yeah.
line.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
Eco, I would even go further and say that someone made billions for it to go down.
Of
Absolutely.
course, of course. But imagine this. Imagine this. You no longer have that piece of cake, right? But what if you got the recipe?
There you go.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
just that's where the billions come in at. Sometimes you can create a need when you have the recipe to manifest whatever the need is. That's the whole. Sometimes people can come up with an invention or a need just to create a demand and
Yeah,
just to create abundance after that demand.
exactly.
Well, that shit gonna be a hell of a lot harder moving forward when we all getting our uh uh credits and Tesla bucks and shit. Yeah, I said it. I say it again. They already building smart cities around this mother. That's what Rambo was talking about a while ago. Man, if they doing the shit down here in Texas already, the concepts, the idea, we ain't through talking about these fires over in Los Angeles area region neither. We ain't through talking about them shit. Baby, they got plans. I believe it was who was it? Usher and what's that boy? That young boy with them locks. I've been making plans of love. They've been making plans for Los Angeles ad for a long time. They getting ready to run a light rail through that joint, connecting Las Vegas to the water. One of my good friends over there on the Tiki Taki, she out on the West Coast. A couple of them. They've been saying, and if y'all think I'm bullshitting, if something going on in Florida, Eco neighbor ain't never been
Yeah,
in
I'm just
now
saying. I'm
TikTok
just
live on
saying.
my
The Gulf. The Gulf is Sarasota around the area was a target, was a smart place too now. And you know
where they
what
coming for
happened in 2024.
that because they coming for y'all too, and just like they coming for here. But my point was, bruh, you ain't never been on in no
They already
live.
been here, and they can continue. Like right now, people don't think about it. It's like no one thinks about the hurricanes that hit multiple times in the state of Florida. No one talks about that there's acreage that's been bought right now, all the way from that storm, where people like, okay, California says, they didn't cash in they insurance, they still own this, then they turn around and sell. No, this stuff been happening for decades in Florida. All this stuff that all these other states been hitting, we've been
Yep,
already selling it out, and then they've been buying it up
yep,
for decades. You look
yep.
around, there was what, 3 hurricanes hitting our area. They still buying up property because people saying I can't get nothing built. I can't afford, even if I
And
do get something built. That whole domino
uninsurable, bro.
effect, man. Like
It's
already,
uninsurable.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's just
yeah.
nasty, man.
Even if it
Because
wasn't insurable, you got to think
yeah,
about this. You already had a waiting list to build anything, and then now you're talking about after the storm, only a limited amount of contractors, on a limited amount of people to doing debris removal. They saying, "Hey, I'm just gonna take whatever I can get and walk away, and then go move somewhere else."
yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
But that's going to take years
Um.
to even bill it to even a third of what you had, and you probably won't even get the full money for from the insurance anyway. Because by the time you get your cut, it's dried up.
Because
Absolutely.
you
What's
bartering, and I'm not talking about somebody that I thought that I knew. I'm like an insurance agent. I know how the
Mhm.
insurance game work. Let me tell you, they got an army against an individual, fam. An army against an individual. They like they when I tell you, you look at banking, you're looking at stock market, you're looking at everything. Insurance is connected to it all. They
Yep.
own banks, they own the stock market, they own the government, they own everything.
So linked.
everything?
So linked
What's
in
up?
one way or the other.
Yes, it is. What's up, frugal mama? Welcome in,
Hi,
baby. Good to
wellness. How
see you.
you
Long
doing?
time. No see. And I'm just gonna put the shit out there and say it like this as well. In addition to what my man just said, after this all said and done, they scooting our ass into these districts. It's deeper than just small cities. I'm finna go, baby. I don't, y'all, I do talk about conspiracies. I ain't shame. I ain't worried about it because everything a damn conspiracy until it fuck around and be true, and then all of a sudden people get real hush mouth who was talking about, oh, you a conspiracy theory. I don't give a fuck. You can call me whatever you want to, baby. I keep a 10-4 hat in my pocket for just such occasions. Now, with that being said, they really low key scooting everybody ass into districts. All these places where people is being pushed out of or burnt out of, or the air quality so poor you can't be there no more. Give it a decade. Somebody with enough bread gonna be in that bitch balling out where you used to live, where Big Mama house used to be. The shit that they won't insure right now. The shit that get impacted by the craziest weather circumstances. Those are the new inland islands, in my opinion. Those are the new inland islands where po folk can't go because it's a big club and your ass ain't in it. You ain't in it. You gonna be at them in your little smart city with your public housing provided by your employer, And you better get your ass up when that alarm clock ring because not only will lose your job, you will lose your house, probably lose your company provided car and cell phone, and then you got to go live out in the outlands. You got to go to the outside the wall to live amongst the poors, and you got to scavenge and shit. You know, it seemed crazy, kind of Mad Maxes and shit. Why you think them people been telling us that for the last 40 some years? Between Mad Max, the Terminator, and all that other weird shit that was just like so far into the future, baby, you in the damn future.
Yeah, and they're gonna make it more difficult as well for you to own property or own land, especially land. They're gonna make it more difficult for you to own a land. They're starting already. They started already, like ages ago. They don't
Yep.
want you to own any physical land, and then when you own it, they want to come and throw money at you, or they come and say you've done this and done that, and they probably find a charge on you, and there's no charge at all, but they create an imaginary charge, and you lose it.
Or eminent domain, brother. In the U.S.,
Well,
I know
exactly.
things are a bit different in the UK, but over here, somebody because you the only house that wouldn't sell or the only 5 acres that wouldn't sell, well, all of a sudden they need to put a railroad right through your shit. We the last ones, family. We the last generation. Everybody on the screen who old enough and good and grown, another 30, 40 years from now, you're gonna have a probably, I don't know, less than 10% of the country in the US, 335 million right now. It'll probably be damn near 400 million 20 years from now. Only a small pocket of people will be either living off raw land or out in rural areas because they will develop the smaller rural areas to a point where they basically become a city or a town or incorporated with something. And the rest of that shit, if you ain't got nowhere to work, y'all, a universal basic income is coming as well. Now,
Mhm.
Rambo, I don't know how things going over in the UK with
Oh, it's
regards to
it's
that.
it's 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 it's
Tell us.
it's similar, man. I'm telling you right now. I'm even dreading April because they've already saying they're going to raise this and raise that. They even brought in a farm tax, like if you were inheritance based on farms. So if you had a certain amount of land, which is a not a lot, you couldn't pass it on to your children because by the time you pass it on to your children or family, they couldn't pay that inheritance tax. You'd be in debt for the rest of your life.
Oh my God,
So
my God.
you couldn't
You know,
even, you say your generation, you've been doing it for 100 years of family inheriting, using that land to feed the country that you are in, and they put a tax on it. If you pass away, you might as well pass it to the bank because your kids will never be able to pay it, the inheritance tax. You will have nothing. Your grandkids would have nothing. So they're removing everything from you. There was a massive protest
Mm-mm,
about that. And I don't even care what anybody says. Even if you protest, to me, protests don't do nothing.
mm-mm.
They still push something through
Yeah, yeah.
in the long term. They still push something through. And I remember when I was young and going to school, there's never one day in my classes I have ever heard any teacher told me, wow, Rambo, it would have been great to be a farmer. It would have been great to grow your own food. The only thing I heard was doctor, lawyer, pilot. And I'm like, where's the food coming from then?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's always been that thing that we've always been told. Wheat farming is like a poverty thing, but it's not. It's actually one of the most essential things on this earth. It's food. And they've never pushed us in a
Absolutely.
direction saying, why don't you become a lawyer on a Monday, Tuesday to Friday, and Saturday and Sunday you work a farm? You plant your own vegetables. Never have ever heard that statement. Oh, that's a poor man's job, working
Right,
out there on the
right,
farm. But them farmers,
right.
whether they're poor or not, their tables were always filled.
You know, Rambo. By the way, what's going on? Just gifted. Welcome in, baby. I see your comment, Adina. I'm gonna talk about that in just a minute. Somebody else came in here. I think it was Christina. Welcome in, baby. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for listening. Just real quick, I want to say this. I've known Rambo for a long time, and he has a deep, deep passion not only for just gardening, but for healthy eating. He a hell of a lot cleaner than I am, as far as like clean eating, clean living, shit like that, right? You know what, man? Uh, I be seeing videos sometime on YouTube or sometime on over on the ticket machine. Uh, People be like, "What the hell is this? This string ass chicken breast they done bought." It's so many people who behind in the knowledge. It's like, baby, you eat that's lab grown shit that they selling you. Now, all my YouTube people, y'all remember 2, 3 years ago, I was talking about this shit. For one, it had already been there, but they made it legal, and they made it legal. Y'all can't see my finger quotes. Legal in California initially, and then the rest of the country. If your chicken breast look like a bunch of thin shoestrings glued together, well, that ain't no real chicken titty. You ain't eating no real meat. And as Rambo was talking about farming and growing and how important that is, that's the only thing make a turd, man. It's sustenance, food. Whether you catch a wild hog or grow your own broccoli or spinach or turnips and shit, that's the only way you get sustenance. Your body, this avatar you using, can't live without real food. And when you eat bullshit on a regular basis, then your real body it will become real unhealthy. We getting poisoned day in and day out. All of us. All of us damn near.
Yep.
That's why the teachers ain't encouraging you to be a farmer or to just stack some bread and try to buy a little chunk of land so you can do your own shit. No, it's about status. Be a doctor, be a lawyer, like Rambo said. Be a professor of whatever. Hell, I wanted to be a gynecologist when I was a little boy. My auntie told me what. Anyway, that's another story. But yeah,
Country.
I did. I did. Girl, Mrs. Stewart, I wanted to be an OBGYN so bad when I was a little boy. My family was just proud that I was striving to be a doctor. And I was like, I was talking to my cousin. I was like, you get all day, you get to look at them for real. And I was like, shit, that's the kind of doctor I want to be. And then I was talking to my aunt, and she said, baby, you know some of them be sick when you looking at them. And she started saying, anyway, yeah, y'all see I ain't no doctor, so I'm gonna land that shit right there. But y'all go ahead.
But you know why they are pushing? They want you to push to be something other than being able to till the land and be able to grow stuff naturally, so that you can have that. It's because they have a bigger. It's a bigger picture. Why do we want you to do all that when we could just manufacture all of it? We don't need you out there doing that. And we certainly need the land that you're going to be doing it on, because we need those spaces to be able to manufacture said thing.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Fact.
Just all.
Mm-hmm.
Eco. I was looking at the news, I think, about a week ago, and I saw something that kind of broke my heart. What are they called again in America, where they have those big buildings? They're very like specific group of Christians in the country there, and they live driving the cars. They don't have any like motor engine. They
Oh, the
always use
Amish. You talking about the
garbage.
Amish?
You see that what how they've targeted them with all the milk and all the butter stuff that they make, and they asking them to throw that all away and all these things that they were saying. That broke my heart because that's food right there they're throwing away. Real food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to the conversation. I'm loving the conversation, and I want to tap into Adrian that we are the new widget. It's been well over multiple decades that when manufacturing died in the United States of America, we became the new widget. We became the new manufacturing product. And
Mhm.
somehow we as Americans have not paid attention that we are the new product, whether it's through the medical, whether do you not know that it costs like I remember when I years ago when I did training and development in the Florida prison system, and I was doing research and I was looking through, and I learned that the average male, I don't care whether they're white, Native American, whatever you want to call them, they based on, and this is the thing we get confused on. We think it's about just color, but it's really about opportunity. And if we can just think about we are the widgets and it's opportunity, I don't care whether you're middle class, upper middle class, it's about widgets and it's about opportunity. The opportunity was for people that made under $30,000. If I can get $60,000 to have you incarcerated, you are worth more in economy based on your calls, based on your mail, based on your canteen, based on your medical, everything. You are worth more locked up than you are worth being walking around free. You're a liability. Now, God forbid if you health conscious, you eat well, you take care of yourself, you don't lean to medicine, you don't lean to pharmaceutical, you don't lean to government, none of that stuff. Now you are a problem because now you are messing up the algorithm or messing up the mathematical equation because there's averages when they look at us and us population, whether we like it or not. I mean, we gotta understand that it's a big gap between what's well to do and everybody else. And some people say, well, I'm making 200, 400, 500,000 a year. So what? None of that don't matter. You understand? You still in the mix. You still being, you're being placed into a category and based on GDP as we define our success in this country. You're wealthy. You generate this. You do this. You did. They don't think about what it takes to generate that. You know, you got to produce something. Now, so when it comes to universal wages and income, I don't see no problem at all. The reason why they wouldn't love for us to make $100,000 a year on the average, because whether we like it or not, the prices, everything gonna go up, even though it don't have to. It don't have to go up. The profit margins will still be a big gap. They can give everybody $100,000, every household $100,000 a year. But then the realistic part about it, the majority of us will give it right back to the ones that are still in control, whether we like it or not.
Well, we saw it with the checks, didn't we? The checks that they were giving out at the time of the lockdowns and stuff, when people had those good old checks, what did they do with it? They went and bought something straight away.
Even this is the crazy thing, and I want to bring it to the granular level. Even if you did not buy nothing like shoes, or clothing, or whatever entertainment, if you just paying rent and you paying your bills or credit cards, guess who you giving it to? You are not creating, like, we won't take $100 and invest it and allow it to give us $10 every 3 months because that's not enough. You know, we won't allow the money to work for us. What we rather do is this ain't gonna really benefit me. If the average person got $1,500 right now this month, they'll be like, man, that's some good money. But that's the hinge of your whole year of 2025. That $1,500 need to do more than just, okay, I'm able to pay the rent this month, or it helped me out with this, or car payment, or whatever. Somehow we get into the mindset where, like, this $1,500, I need to drop it into something that's going to create something not only for me, for my kids and my kids' kids, or my nieces and nephews, or my cousins. Somehow we haven't clicked that button.
I have, but obviously due to the fact of me not working at the moment, but I clicked on it a long time ago. But obviously, certain situations was happening where I saw the opportunity, got the opportunity, it dropped, got rid of it, and now I'm kicking myself. You know, but it is what it is. I've learned my lessons. But going forward, it's all about putting in something that in the future is going to do the work for me. Do you know what I mean? I've already got some already that's doing the work for me, which I will never touch.
But can you imagine this though, Rainbow? Let me dig a little bit deeper. Can you imagine this? What if you sacrificed 30 and 40 years of your life and it didn't benefit you, but it benefited the next generation behind you and the next generation? For some of us, I don't care whether it's 2%, 10%, a lot of us not willing to just sacrifice.
To me, that's fine.
What motivated me, what motivated me, what really inspired me is I'm gonna tell you about my great grandfather. My great grandfather, he came from a lineage, right? Now his grandparents, they were Native Americans, right? Or what
Hmm.
we call Indians or whatever you want to call them. And they posed as African Americans, right? Because the oppression was far deeper during that time in South Georgia for Native American than it was for African Americans. A lot of people don't
Hmm.
talk about that, but at that time, that situation was like that, and they were dark complected, right? But at the same
Yeah.
time, I'm fast forwarding through everything. My great grandfather, he sacrificed. Not only did he deal with the Tuskegee Airmen and all that kind of stuff, but his sacrifices wasn't necessarily for his personal gain and nothing he can see in his lifetime, but his sacrifices was for his kids and his great grands. And I'm not saying every time I talk to this crew, I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about us as a group of as an organization, as a people, as a unity,
Hmm.
right? Because the reason why I talk about that, because everybody talk about everything that I do and I share on my live, and they talking about, well, why don't this and why don't this and why don't that? And I'm like, we gotta get to the point where we need to move as a unit and have a forward thinking worldwide, because economy is not United States, not Britain, not Mexico, not Canada. It's worldwide movements. It's strategic worldwide movements. And for some reason, we I'm not talking about you, Rambo, because I don't know nobody on the other side of that water. I'm talking about right here. I do understand about the island because my fam from the island too. You know what I'm saying? My fam
Hmm.
from the island too. But even in the islands, they talking about like my fam from Cat Island, whatever.
Hmm.
They talk about the island rather than the whole world and the continent. You know,
Yeah.
continent moves.
Now, this is where I want to tap in, Eco. This is where because I've been listening. I've been listening. And me and you, we have private conversations. We don't talk for hours before. This one part where we differ. It ain't no we, in my opinion. There is no we. I can't even wrap my mind around thinking on a global level, and people can get their own families to decide what the fuck they gonna eat for Thanksgiving or who house is gonna be at. Cause Big Mama and Pawpaw got divorced 3 years ago, both of them in their 80s, and they got divorced at 76. Half the family over here, half to this or that. If it ain't small, I ain't doing it at all. I honestly, personally, don't give a fuck about the world. I just can't because I can't afford to expend or exhaust that much energy. If that shit ain't within driving distance, fuck it. It is what it is. It ain't no we to come together with
And
all
you
the
know
shit.
what?
Hold on. Let
You
me
know,
finish. Hold on, bro. With all the shit black folk done been through over the past 500, 600 years, if niggas ain't came together and said this is what we need to do by now, with all the leaders who done put their life on the line to make we do something, this shit probably ain't gonna happen. I'm a man of probability. I'm not the best mathematician in the world, but I understand numbers to the extent in which I can ascertain what is more likely or less likely, which is a form of probability. Now, also with that being said, I look at this shit like this right here. Money is finna change, people. Money finna change in a very, very profound way. There is a reason why XRP is damn near at $3 right now.
Oh,
For all
Jesus,
my
I know.
for, for all my people who, are small traders or investors and shit, everything's going digital. I want to read y'all something real quick. I want to read y'all something. Y'all just bear with me. What was used in the 1600s? Now, mind you, I will readily admit that they, I'm talking about the white folks who put this shit together. No offense to my white brothers and sisters. I come in peace and love. But we gonna keep this shit a thou wow. We're not talking about the turquoise necklaces that were used for trade. We're not talking about the buffalo hide, the bartering system, the shit that was used for currency. Right now, we're talking about the European standard that was implemented even back in the 1600s. Cash in the colonies was denominated in pounds, shillings, or pence. PENCE. The value of each denomination varied from colony to colony. A Massachusetts pound, for example, was not equivalent to a Pennsylvania pound. All colonial pounds were of less value than the British pound sterling. At the time, ladies and gentlemen, between the East India Company and all of this other shit, all of the land grabs and the massacres of people, Europeans, I talked about Bretton Woods agreement last night, how some men who weren't even from there met up in Belgium and decided, and why the black folks over there let them do that, that is beyond me. I wasn't alive. Don't kill the messenger. They divvied up why East Africa is speaking German and why to this day West African countries speaking French. The shit that happened in the colonies down in the Democratic Republic of the Congo was an absolute atrocity. Y'all look up King Leopold when you get some spare time and see how great a person he was.
He was a very handy
I'm
man.
saying, yeah, he literally to this day they still got little chocolate candies that they sell, little chocolate hands because anybody who didn't produce enough on those rubber plantations, on them rubber plantations, if you didn't meet your quota, sometimes, and just if you was just a uppity type nigga, they'll cut your hand off. They would take your left hand. And it's still a candy that's being sold to this day. But let me get back to my point, which is money. Money. There have been several different periods over the past 100 years or so, hundreds of years, let me be correct in my speaking. The last hundreds of years or so, money has changed quite a few times. That's why I just read what I read. Sometimes when you prepare for the future, you can still be running off the old algorithm because this shit
Rinse,
seems real virtual. Like
rinse
it
and
seems
repeat.
real. Wash, rinse, and repeat. And I'm not saying my man Eco wrong because that's my brother. It ain't about wrong. I'm just adding to what everything he said because it is true. Only part I disagree with is there's a we. It ain't no fucking we. We can't even keep each other safe in this country. We who? Outside of that, with this
and
money shit, I think by the end of the decade, we're gonna have a universal basic income for most people. It'll be phased in. I don't have a problem with it either. I think it's a good thing. They already proposing potentially $1,000 per person per family, uh, individual, family, no family, single, whatever. You can have the best job in the world, or you could be working at Subway. You're gonna get an extra $1,000. That's how the shit starts. But what it
what
also
money
will
got
be is digital, huh?
on? I you know what, a lot of times when we have this conversation, when we always had this spirited conversation, I I
Hmm.
believe that I think a lot of the ways we agree on the holistic part of what our concept and our evaluation based on experiences are. And I totally agree with
Hmm.
you. My thing is the only time I deal with that we, because I'm telling you, we didn't buy land, we didn't start no homestead, we didn't. I get it, I totally get it. But whether we like it or not, no matter how we move, where we move, we are placed in a box. And the
Hmm.
we, when I speak of we, I'm talking about culture. I'm talking about spirit. And I just so happen to have faith and belief, even though it may not manifest. And I get it, bro. I get it. But I'm hoping that the faith and the trend and the culture would persuade us to look more on having origination, having development of something outside of what's established. It's just like what you tell me. To me, when you talk about we, I don't I don't decide we. When I was born in this world, I didn't decide we. I was born in Okinawa, Japan. I was not no South, in the South, grown in Georgia, none of that. I later on moved to Georgia and I was just what I was. But it has
Hmm.
nothing to do with where we were born. It has nothing to do about none of that. The world places us in a category, whether we like it or not. I don't care whether you're in Australia, Austria, Canada, Quebec, whatever, you still gonna be placed in a we, whether we like it or
Hmm.
not. And my thing is, if I'm gonna be placed in a we, I'm gonna want the best for we. Not saying you don't want that, my brother, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm hoping by like somebody, for instance, hip hop, somebody stood at a corner, start busting rhymes and busting a beat. Somebody started beatbox. Somebody started say whatever we like it or not about good stuff. It's a survival at the end of the day. At the end of the day, no matter what situation we in, we find a way to survive. When I say we, I'm saying the category that they put us in, no matter what our history is, no matter what our culture is. Because if I wasn't this complexion of my skin, I would be Japanese. If if I was president running in the United States with 38 felonies and wouldn't imagine me being black. I got 38
Sorry not to laugh.
felonies. I talk about putting my hands on somebody's pee. And I'm talking about cussing out people, making it great again. Even if I say making it great again, they'd be saying I'm talking about the crack days. I'm talking about the time when I'm prospering. I'm talking about the time when I'm just in their eyes. If I said I'm fixing to appoint somebody from India and I'm gonna marry a Russian spy who was a stripper. Well, I'm not gonna say stripper. Who was naked, taking naked pictures. Imagine me being a black man saying I'm doing all of this, and I get reelected, and I started a party where we uproar and took on the Capitol. Man, do you not know I'll be the most feared guy in the world, the number one head cat in this world? So what I'm saying by we, I'm talking about I have no choice about being a we. The we is I was born into this. It's called the world. And the world decides that I'm going to place you into a category. And my hopes when I speak about we is I'm hoping that somehow, some way, we could somehow unify on one subject, on one matter that's beneficial, and maybe we can start a trend rather than doing the WAP or doing the twerk or doing something. You know what I'm saying?
Let,
And then
let, let me let, let
move some
I
kind of
want to
weed
ask
or
you this.
something.
I want to ask you this, bro. I want to ask you this.
Yeah,
Between,
bro.
and I ain't even gonna go back super far. I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna start at Harriet, and then I'm gonna move up to what's his name from Jamaica. Had the Black Star Company. Did some amazing shit. His name just
Um,
went out my mind. Um uh Medgar Evers, King,
oh yes,
MLK,
Garvey.
shit,
Garvey.
who else? Thank you, Marcus Garvey. Marcus
yes,
Garvey.
yes.
Marcus Garvey.
I had it in my head as
So
well. I couldn't even get it out.
yeah, I had it right on the tip of my prefrontal
Yeah,
cortex and couldn't
yeah,
spit that
period.
shit out. So out of all of these people, we've only had a regression in what it meant. That it ain't even no black community no more. And I understand where you coming from because yeah, we are. But for me, when I say there is no us, man, after everything post integration, honestly, post integration, there is still a desire amongst so many of us, and rightfully so in some instances, because if your neighborhood is so bad, you got to put your children on a pallet, versus sleeping in their beds and make sure they away from the windows and
Come
shit.
on, bro.
I
You
understand
tapping
why
into my
Hmm.
people
boy
want to
now.
move to a better space.
Hey, you tapping into my
I, so
boy now.
so I do get it. I understand why people want to move around, and I ain't mad at them for it. I'm just saying there's less of a we now than there was when you have some of the most profound historical people. I've been back and forth with W.E.B. Du Bois for years because the talented tenth. I got mixed feelings about it. Here's why: because just like what's going on in Africa, well, a lot of this shit got to do with leadership. None of them people would be in that position and have some of the quote unquote third world countries that they got, the poverty that they got, but you got a rich family sitting at the head of it. The wealthy family who do all the negotiating, the this, to that, all the funding and shit get filtered down and sifted through them, and they keeping their own people where they at. Something else a lot of people don't know about. Some people do, some people don't. Well, there has been some people call them the boule. There has been a lineage of very, very wealthy black people. Same shit you were saying when you started this conversation. You said it don't matter if it's Trump, Obama, this or that. All these people usually they have some kind of family tie, even if it's fourth, fifth, sixth cousins and shit. Well, guess what, baby? It's a black consortium of people who look like me and Eco and Mrs. Stewart and Rambo, who been in this country and they never been a slave a day in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Period. Matter
again,
of fact,
I
they
get back to
own
the
it. Matter of fact, they even own it.
exactly, exactly. So I say again, who the fuck is we? I'm a laying right there. I give it back to y'all. Y'all go ahead.
No, I wanted to
Finish.
say something when you said something about the people in power in Africa and stuff like that, right? Who to say they're not related to the people that actually has the money?
They
Facts.
are.
Yes.
They are.
Who
Yes.
to say they're not the original ones who started this crap?
It's
Right.
proven. They are. They are connected. That's the point.
Who to say?
Mm-hmm.
Melanin is only skin deep. Wickedness is
Period.
deeper than that. That is
Yes,
in your
sir.
soul. So, trust me. And there are those people who are interwoven in this woven big quilt that's wraps around the whole world. They are from every single complexion. They're from every single culture, and they don't come to the bottom. They always stay on the top.
But
Period.
imagine this, my friend. Imagine this. I'm going to use that same analogy you use, Rambo. Imagine the quilt and the blanket of the quilt. Sometimes it only takes one string to dismantle that quilt. And the thing that I love, I'm going to tie this back into country. AI, monetary
Mhm.
system, is going to uproot a lot of this stuff. And as my boy Cat Williams say, the lies are going to be revealed, and people, this 2024 was revolution. And then my thing is, I'm looking at this with the amount of knowledge and exposure, they're going to have to cap this. They're going to have to put a cap on this because I'm telling you, AI is going to outsmart man because it's going to take the collectiveness, not only of one sector of group, it's going to take the whole world and it's going to process it. And my question is, let's see what comes out. Let's see the byproduct of after you take a look at every single factual and non-factual piece of man. And let's see AI show man who man truly is. And I'm just curious because I don't believe it's like this. It's like this. The word says at one time the meek will inherit the earth. Didn't say the weak. Didn't say the
Meek,
submissive. It said
meek.
the meek will inherit the earth. I just have this feeling and this hope that once that computer processes all this input that man been jiving and shucking and jiving, it's gonna be, we're gonna reveal because I don't know, I've been here for 50 years plus. I've learned more about. I know I don't want to use this we on country. I'm trying to do better with that. And,
you good.
Us,
You good,
us
bro.
as
but I'm
as a
learning.
community.
learning
as a community
since
here.
I'm learning since they put me in a box, since they trying to put me in a category. But I'm learning that if we are the origin and we are the beginning of intelligence and society and community and citizenship, it's gonna understand that maybe there's walking gods and kings and connected to the creator, and maybe it's gonna understand that maybe I don't know. I think monetary, we got opportunity. I'm looking for the next 5 years since I'm going to transition back to crypto and stocks. I'm
Mhm.
pushing SoundCloud. I'm pushing Nvidia. I'm pushing anything that's connected with robotics, AI.
Yeah.
I'm saying y'all
Uh-huh.
utilize AI. Go to your computer and just say, look for stocks that Elon Musk, or look for stocks that Nvidia, that companies that they buy, companies that they integrate with, and then look for those companies, invest in those companies, and then
And as
if,
well, Eco, you're forgetting one thing as well:
mhm,
food companies.
and military,
Uh-huh.
Food.
defense, and
And
defense and
law
military.
enforcement. And law enforcement. Don't forget
Well,
that.
you know that
Yes.
that flow with defense and military.
Yeah.
Most law enforcement do not get prime stuff. They get stuff based on surplus from federal government.
Mhm.
Every now and then they get some, but most of them don't have the capital, and they buy from surplus of federal government. All of that, it's gonna
Uh-huh.
tie in, and everybody absolutely right. And this is the thing: once you do that, you need to drop some money in there, and then there's open transparency. Go to Florida Gov websites. Go not Florida, but not go to government
I know what you
websites.
mean.
Go to
Yeah. Yeah. We know what you mean.
all of those. Go to their websites and look and see who they contracting with, and then invest in them Lockheed Martins and invest in all these companies, and then put your stocks in there, and you're gonna learn that you're gonna do well because border control creates revenue,
Mhm.
whether you like it or not. You don't have to be for it or against it. You know, people say I'm against such and such because they invest in prisons or this and that. Well, this is the thing, they still gonna lock them up. My question is, are you gonna build enough capital to buy to afford a attorney to get the people that's wrongfully convicted unlocked up? It takes
Mhm.
capital to move anything. So it's not about the capital, it's about what you do with the capital.
And
Yep.
you know what? The whole thing about all of this is right now, the way things are going, it's simple. You will work for everything and you will never own nothing. You won't even own your own thoughts. That's where we're heading, period. You will work for everything and you will own nothing. Because to take it back to right now with the very thing that we're discussing that is on everybody's mind, right? Um, hey, they've been planned for this. All of this stuff has been strategic, especially what's going on in California. Especially, nobody's really still talking about California now, are they?
Mm-mm.
It's died down. But you know, before California was California as it is now, it was actually a massive lake. That place were
Yeah.
built to burn. Sad to say. I
And
know it's sad. I really feel it for the people.
in Florida, before they drained all and created them canals, it was underwater. I mean, most of these states that are well sought after, that we watch thugs build, and we watch people that was pillaging build. Most of them, they created desolate lands and made it prime real estate. In most cases,
Yeah.
deserts, whatever.
Amen.
Ain't nothing changed,
Yes.
right? That's why I love Miss Stewart, because you know what, her last name, I don't know whether that's her last name or not. It's Stewart. One thing tying back to what she says,
It is. It is.
Okay. At the end of the day, you know what we are? We own nothing. God owns everything. We are
Absolutely.
stewards. We are stewards. Even if man think they got control over something, but they don't. So my thing is, I don't decide that I got dropped into Monopoly or Rich Dad Poor Dad board game or chess or whatever game you want to connect it with. But I'm placed on the game board and I got to play the game. I get a piece of land and I might pay $300 a year. You might pay $3,000 a month. I choose to pay $300 a year versus
Yep.
$3,000 a month. So the game is I have to do this to pay $300 a year, but we own nothing. You absolutely, I mean, we own nothing. When you die, even for instance, when I was in the healthcare industry, I seen times where there was people that had a trach and a trach got clogged and they need suction. And there were people that were paying $7,000 a month because they ain't have no insurance. And I'm talking about 20 years ago, $7,000 a month just to lay up in a nursing home, what I call, right? But they would have gave me everything they had for me to suction they trach out. My thing is, at the end of the day, you come in this world naked, we're gonna die in this world naked. We own nothing.
Absolutely.
Period.
Period. We own
Period.
nothing in life.
Period.
Look at the Egyptians. The Egyptians tried it, and then someone else went and stole it all back from them.
Exactly. And you
Trying to
know
burn
what,
the
man?
song and everything.
I'm glad. I'm so, you 1,000% right, boy. They buried them with all of those treasures, and man, all that shit got stolen. Some of it sitting there somewhere in a museum or a private collection right now. But I'm
Yeah,
glad Eco said that, which is why, especially my TikTok family, y'all hear me talk about this a lot, man. My whole goal, and me and Eco to have this conversation openly and privately. My whole goal is to never come back. I already know I can't take none of this shit with me. The tangible things, the physical shit, but I also don't have to take the problems with me. If I get up every day trying to be a better man than I was the day before, hell, I'll pat myself on the back. I'll pop my own collar. Because that's really what I feel like I'm leaving with. I don't want to come back to this earth, to this realm of existence in this capacity no more. I believe deja vu is real. I feel like I've been here before. I was literally just talking last night before TikTok shut that shit down. We was having a very similar conversation. From the time I wasn't even 2 years old, man. Might have been 13, 14 months. My big mama, my aunties and uncles and shit, when I was older was like, how you remember that? How you remember this? How you I shit. And they used to mess with me when I was a kid and I didn't really get it. But that boy been here before. He been here before. I feel like you know what? I believe him now. And I don't never want to come back to this bitch again. For no more lives, no more nothing. I try to
But you know,
live right, be right, and do right. And that's it for me.
my beautiful brother, I'm gonna tell you true testimony right here. You probably you and I never talked about this, but I remember times I was traveling on my job, and at one time you was very active on this YouTube street. And I
Hmm.
remember you sat down and you went through a little rant and you just talked and you just talked. And I was driving back on the interstate, back on the backwoods, and I listened to you talk when I was like feeling like I'm about to fall asleep. I'm feeling like I'm finna run off the road. And you walked me all the way home. And I'm telling
Mm.
you, I could benefit somebody else and then they could benefit somebody else. But I'm just saying sometimes the things that we consider not major is major in other people's life. And it's just you have helped me through some things. And I remember your voice and I remember you keeping me going on that road. And I always be connected to that. And I always remember every time I listen to you live, I think about that and I reflect on that. So you never can tell what you may think that is nothing is something to somebody else. So I'm just leaving it right there.
Oh,
Thank
Eco,
you,
my
brother. I
brother.
appreciate that.
Eco, do you know how many times we've said this to country? You know how many times country up there in that box saying, D Mystery, shut your ass up. I know, but but do you know, like one time we were on a live and it was a young man that was in there and he was like, what, it's to sum it up, he was like, you know, what does it benefit me to be a nice and good and kind person? And when I tell you, country freaking curated that thing to have him have a better understanding that the goal is to be a good person. The goal is to be that.
Yeah,
Above nothing, above all, be that. And we was like, man, you just don't know how much of a great impact you have on people. And just him sliding in that live, being in that panel, for him to hear him say that, we don't know what could have been going through that young man's mind. But, but, but God placed it upon his heart to say that. And we don't know what he could have been in the midst of getting ready to do.
exactly.
Those words probably stopped it.
And,
My
and the swag. I'm
Eco,
sorry.
I met you a day of my life. And honey, mm, that's all I land my plane, baby. Mm.
And my queen, the swag of the voice, man. It's like, do you not understand that, like growing up, I used to wait on shows to come on, or movies to come on, and then you'll wait for a movie to come on, and when it comes on, when you can connect with them, I know we don't like to use that word we, but when we in our
Hey, you gonna
culture,
chill out, Eco? We
saying,
I was
when
waiting for him to say something.
because I'm saying I ain't choose this. I ain't choose this. That everything, the beauty, the American beauty, the president, the boss man, the leadership, the people that drove the best car, they just so happen to be such and such. But anyway, I'm just saying, every now and then you see, and then you hear this swag, and you hear this confidence, and you hear this laid back, and you hear this just natural flow, and it's like, man. I'm a grown ass man. I want to have a swag like that.
And
I'm
his
just
deep voice, and he can
what?
sing as well.
What? Y'all
He can
gonna
hold a
stop
tune.
now. Y'all gonna stop.
Nah, you know what it is? I always say, like, I try my best in life to be good. I'm not good, but every single day I wake up, I give thanks and try to make sure I am at my best to others. Because one moment I step on my house, you might say the wrong thing, and I might have you on the top of a hood car, and I'm leaving all the goodness behind in the door. I
I
try my
understand,
best
bro.
to be always good, and I have been in a lot of lives where a lot of people don't talk like how we talk. We discuss things to the point that we speak facts. Some people might not like what we're saying, but it's true, and we can have a discussion. And that is what a lot of other people out there cannot discuss things. They would rather throw stones and hit you with it rather than discuss things. They can't articulate a conversation. I have been told for my whole life I talk too much, but that's my gift.
You
I
and me
can
both, bro.
communicate.
But keep talking your stuff, Rambo. Keep
You know,
talking it.
I'm
Keep
never gonna
pushing.
stop.
please.
You
I mean,
know,
it's kind of cool that like I have conversation. I'm like, oh, somebody from such and such. Yeah, man, I got my boy Rambo. I mean, it's cool. It's kind of cool. Not only that here it is where you at a situation where you can disagree. It's just like every time my heart just kind of like it grows because I'm telling y'all in this new age to disagree with somebody and not agree with somebody and still be cool with somebody, it's so rare. People will ghost you with like if
Mm,
you hold your head or
mm,
blink your eyes or move a certain way, they will ghost you so quick.
Yeah.
But
mm.
my brother, man, we'll have a 3 or 4 hour conversation. I'm sorry, I ain't mean to kind of lay that out there, but we have a three or
You
four
good,
hour,
bro? Go ahead.
and then at the end, we totally don't agree with a certain point, and then we be like, we good. I just it's so rare right now in this day and age because I don't care. I watch people with they pop the balloon. I watch everything. No one wants to go. No one wants to go through tribulation. No one wants to be challenged. Everybody want to be agreeable, and everything is solid, like good, and it's like, do you want to be lied to, or do you really want the truth?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's why I said all the time,
I
like
got.
I would. 1 second, Jay. I
Go,
would
go
prefer a
ahead. Go
female
ahead.
to tell me the truth. If I want to marry anybody or be in a relationship with someone, I want you to tell me exactly how messed up I'm going. Because if I'm going down that path and you can't retreat, you reel me back in, you're not the person for me.
Right.
And I'll do
Oh,
the same for you.
oh, Rambo, that is you spitting facts because I've always said, listen, I'd rather have the raw, unfiltered, unedited truth than for you to tell me a pretty lie. Because pretty
Amen.
can only last for so long. Pretty fades away, but the truth is ever.
Yeah.
It is always there. So why sit up here and don't stroke my ego? You know what I mean? Don't
Right.
do that because what is that gonna serve? That's not serving me at all. Like, yes, absolutely. I need the constructive criticism. Listen, sis, now you be out of pocket. I'm gonna need you to tighten up now. And if me being a grown woman cannot accept somebody checking me by saying you need to tighten up on that, you need to you getting real sloppy with it. You need to cut all that out, and I can't be accepting of that. Then I need to take a deep dive and look in the mirror and say, what the hell? Are you that above reproach where you can't be told a goddamn you mean thing? Is that what you're telling me? That
But
you can't
remember,
be
Facts.
told nothing?
And
some
the
people
crazy,
can't take criticism. They can't
but
take anything, but you got to lie to them. Some people
but,
can't, so that's why you shouldn't even have those in your circle. You remove them slowly but surely. Just remove them in a polite manner.
let's be
Well,
honest with
not
it.
only that.
I'm
Hold
sorry.
on. Hold on, real quick, Rob. I just to what Mr. Stewart said, and well, to all of y'all, I'll put it like this: in my virtual life, in my YouTube, TikTok, whatever little life space, community, folk I talk to and shit. For one, I'm a married man, so I don't talk to a whole bunch of women who I done met off of these internets. I just don't, cause hashtag respect. So I just don't do that shit. So I'm gonna put this shit over to the fellas, men. I'm gonna tell you why I move with Rob. Like, well, Eco. Sometimes I call them both. I go back and forth, be on the phone with him, call him all of them. Shit. If you a man, if you, and this is just my opinion, you a man. I want people to really soak in what he just said, which ties into what Mrs. Stewart just said. She took it a little further about, even criticism. Even if you ain't criticized nobody, how the fuck you a man, man? And everything about 99.5% of everything about our connectivity, our relationship, how we move and shit, what we understand, what we whatever, whatever. .5 of that shit we disagree on, you really gonna throw me the fuck away or anybody else, any other grown and eco? This is the kind of shit that be in my mind. I'm glad we having this conversation because how can we have a we when you got grown ass men and women out here who share that same sentiment? Now everything else about us is good. We vibe like a motherfucker, boy. We cool in a bitch, but 0.5% is enough for you to be. Oh no, no, I'm sorry, I can't fuck with you no more. What kind of hoe ass shit is that, man? Bro, as y'all can tell from just this live right here, me and Eco do not agree on everything, but I love him. That's still my brother. I hope he's straight. I hope Gigi straight. I hope Lil Gigi straight. I hope the whole family straight. This man has helped me figure out shit about this land out here since I've been back in the States. He one of the first people I called when it started warming up, and I showed him a damn a little mini river that was running through my shit. This is one of the people I talked to, like, bro, we were thinking about putting a house over there, but shit, I don't know, bro. I think I might need to slow down. Some of them 2-3 hour conversations and shit he was talking about 3-4 hours. I'm out here with my phone on showing him shit like, bro, I don't, god damn, I gotta cut this tree down, I gotta move this, I gotta do that shit. That's what men do. And a lot of folk can't stand me, but fuck 'em. It is what it is. I can't deal with those. I can take a whole bunch of shit from a woman, but a super sensitive ass man in 2024, no, no, I can't do it. I can't do it, man. I
He's up,
can't do
bro.
that super touchy
He's up.
feely shit.
He,
Anyway, I'm done. I laying right there. Go
yeah,
ahead,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah.
Go ahead, Eco.
I know this your channel. I know it's your channel, but I'm trying to keep you rotating because your message needs to permeate throughout the world. But anyway, let's just say this. Let's just say this, man. Let's just say this. You know what? I Miss Stewart said something that resonated with me to the part where I'm like, what happened to the part where we can make each other better? What happened to the part where, like, I'm not looking for a woman? When I was looking for my wife and I found my wife, what happened to the part where, like, I don't want her to be me? I don't want her to be everything that I want or everything I desire. What happened to, I'm trying to work? Man, she look good. She fine. She intelligent. I'm trying to get her time. I'm trying to get her mindset. What happened to where I saw this friend that I'm like, man, he's cool. He's smooth. Man, he's somebody that I want to connect with. Some of us, we so feminine, and I don't mean negative, but men wise, I can't speak to women. We so feminine that we don't say, man, that nigga look good, man. He's strong. He got all the women. He intelligent. He going places. I'm trying to connect with him. It used to be where that was understood, or on the flip side, you courting, or even if you just networking, because we I did a story not too long ago where I shared us walking from middle school to the house. There was times where you had girl friends and you didn't chase them. There was times you had boy friends and you didn't chase them. There was time where you didn't compete with them. You didn't like try to look for their demise. You just were friends. What happened to the part where we just connected, we bonded, we just had a good time, and we looked out for each other and we protected each other? Somehow we lost that community. And I don't know how to get it back, but at the same time, I miss that. And it's hard to find right now. And then, you get into your career, like, I don't know what age y'all, you and Miss Stewart and Rambo, y'all younger than probably me, and I know
Yeah.
Country way younger than me. But at the
Nah,
same
hell
time,
no. I'll be
it, it,
76
it,
in August.
it used to be a time where you wanted to find connection and friends. You remember in grade school where you be like, they like cars, they like this, they like that, and you connected with them, and it had nothing to do with anything but your connection.
Yeah.
We lost that. We lost something that somehow we lost that. And I love the garden community at one time because it used to be like the garden community, like, man, we all want to grow. But then what happened when we said, okay, I've seen enough potato plants, I've seen enough growing tomato plants. And then after that dissolved, now where do we go from here? Do we bond, continue to bond? And I don't know. I don't know how do you cultivate relationships like that to the part where you be like, man, I'm just connecting with you, we vibing. And then I don't ask for nothing for you, and you ain't ask for nothing for us, and we just growing together.
That's how it's supposed to be.
bro. That's how it should be. They had me locked in so hard on the YouTube side, most because like I was saying last night, hell, we started out in Africa, we were showing the this, to that. Okay, you done seen the chickens, you done seen the shit we growing. What else we gonna talk about? What else we gonna do? It's folks who won't come in alive. It's people who some people unsubscribe. God damn, okay, I get it. I can grow tomatoes, you can grow tomatoes. What's next? You got a couple peppers you done grew. I got some too. What we gonna talk about this shit going on in politics. We gonna talk about Flint. It's 2024. Flint water still fucked up. We can't talk about that sometimes. And like, do that bore you? Do that put you outside your comfort zone? But I got locked into that side of the algorithm over here. Went to TikTok, was able to talk about all of the shit I want to talk about, and kabloom, just blowing up. You know, I wake up to a couple hundred new subscribers every damn day, and I barely drop videos. It just be from my lives, man. I'm not a one dimensional person. And Eco, to answer your question, bro, I don't know what happened, how it happened. I don't know how people got to be where they at now. I think it's a culmination of different issues that all contributed to where we at right now. But god damn, boy, I sure be happy as hell for the other kind of men that I do latch on to who feel, move, think, and act, and feel, and think, and act like how I act. Because unless I disrespect that man's wife, it's probably I got his phone number. I got his phone number, so they could take. Here, they took TikTok for a while yesterday. They take YouTube too. I'm still gonna be checking on him and Gigi. Probably still gonna go down there and see them. Shit like that. Like you gotta be a different kind of man, man. If unless I disrespect him personally, I feel like we gonna forever be good. Unless I insult him, his wife, his family, all this other shit we be online talking about. The everybody's god damn boy, some people out of this motherfucker who's so damn virtuous. I ain't gonna say holier than thou. I'm just gonna say you. Some people out in this motherfucker have almost a righteous indignation about themselves, as though anybody who contests their thoughts or ideologies will, ooh, ouch kabibble, ouch kabibble. We whole men. This motherfuckers, hell, 30 years ago, they'll get into it. They work, they on the same job, then caught a ride together. Them motherfuckers get into it over a lunch break at work and still drop that nigga off at home.
Yeah.
Cause it ain't that
Period.
damn
Come
deep,
on.
man.
I mean, I'm going to take it a step further. It's like this. You mentioned about disrespect and why I disrespect this. This is a problem, my fam. Somehow we done got mentally to put people in our mindset, and then like this is how I would do it, or this is how I would say it, versus the whole point in learning something and interacting with somebody who don't move and don't think the same way you are is to learn new ideas. And somehow we want it, but we don't want the benefits of it because we're not willing to go through the opposition of learning about it. And I don't know if it makes sense what I'm saying, but I'm saying this. Sometimes you can visualize or you can interpret that somebody is saying something contrary or opposition to you. But what happened to the part where, like, We talking about we from the 90s, we from the 80s, we from the 70s, we from whatever decade you want to do. We used to fight it out. We used to do that. You know what used to happen? It used to be a conversation somewhere after that. Okay, 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 country. You knocked me in my mouth bleed, my nose bleed, whatever. But now somebody come in, Rambo come in, or maybe Adrian come in and say, "Hey, y'all need to talk it out. Y'all brothers. Y'all don't need to do this. Y'all don't need to do that." And it used to be a point where I didn't delete Rambo because he said I didn't delete Miss Adrian because she said, and what I did was I listened to him, and then we came together, and then once we came together, and then it come to find out I had a totally different perspective, a mindset of where you were coming from, country, and then I'm like, but I wasn't humble enough until you jacked my jaw up. I wasn't even ready to absorb or even listen to it until I got humbled by you. And then now I'm like, okay, I'm willing to listen. And then now we go through it. And then guess what happens? 20 years, 30 years later, we still solid. We still go. We willing to defend for each other. We willing to give each other. People want the result, but they don't want to go through the process. They don't want to go through what it took to get there.
Damn,
People
Eco.
look at 20 years of marriage, 30 years of
Mm.
marriage, 15 years, 10 years, 8 years, but they don't want to look at the journey on what it took to get there.
Man, you better motherfucking preach, boy. You better preach. And I've been envied. Matter of fact, I spoke with one of my lifelong best friends earlier today. He was at work. I had to go into town. I went into town and I couldn't talk long, but my point is anyway, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. My bigger point is this shit right here. I'm sorry, y'all. I hope that wasn't too loud. My earbud fell out. But so my brother passed away in 2020, and I call him my brother, even though he a lifelong best friend. Uh, you know, hell, I was in my 40s when he passed away. We have been best friends since I was 15 and he was 14. And people envy that. They be like, "Oh shit, how y'all do that? How you make?" You know what? I got into it with at least everyone out of the four of us. Each one of us got into it with each other real bad at least one time. The situation where I was wrong, I had to humble myself because I did. I was young, hot headed, flipped my lid, just kind of took the shit way too far. I'll even tell y'all what it is. Fuck it. Since we talking, damn, if we gonna talk about all of it. I'm gonna tell you exactly how the shit happened. We were going to an old country ass church to sing. The way that he knew how to get there, I wonder why is this motherfucker going? I'm behind. I'm in the car by myself. Everybody else was in the other car. Everybody else was in the other car because we had met up real quick. And like, yeah, man. And he would, and I asked him, you know where the church at? Where this go? Hey, he was like, I always went this way to get over there. Finally stop. I'm honking, flashing my lights, all of this shit. We pull over at a gas station. I was 1,000% wrong. I got out the car screaming and howling and all this shit, man, acting a plum fool. I think I was about 17. The FUs to this, to that, man, what the F you doing, all of this and that. He had never looked at me like that before in his life. Now, mind you, back in this, that we had only been friends for about a year and a half, 2 years. Everybody was dressed up anyway. They went to another church. Church I was supposed to be going to, I didn't even go over there. When I finally calmed down and realized how wrong I was, I went to the regular church and I sat in the car for a minute and I swallowed my motherfucking pride, man. And I went in there and I sat in the pew behind him and my other three homeboys because everybody was sitting together. I touched him on the shoulder and I said, man, I'm sorry, bro. I was wrong for that. I was wrong for that. I apologize and I hope you can forgive me. And I got up and I walked out. He didn't call me. We didn't talk. My other homeboys was like, man, y'all need to fix this shit. Y'all need to fix this shit. Y'all need to fix this. And I was like, man, look, I get it. I was wrong. I can't make it is what it is. His stepdaddy noticed I hadn't been around because we were damn near inseparable. His stepdaddy say, y'all gonna fix that shit? Whatever kind of talk they had that he told me about later on when we did start talking again, whatever his old boy said to him got through to my brother. He was called home. He transitioned 26 years of friendship under our belt. 26 years of friendship. That's why he my brother and not just a homeboy.
Well, as you said, like a lot of people don't want to go for the rough before they want to. Everybody wants to get the prize, but they don't want to go for it. As Eco said about marriage, like a lot of people don't. They just want to be married, but they don't want to have a marriage. But a marriage takes trials and tribulations. You can't give up. Just
Who
like in
you
life,
telling?
to become successful in anything, you're only going to be successful once in a something that's going to make you financial freedom or financial gain continuously. But you would have failed probably about over 10,000 times before you get that one success. And you will never know what that success is going to look like until it turns up on your door later on. It's not now. You got to put the work in now before you can reap anything. But a lot of people don't want to be doing that hard work stuff. They just want to get to the prize, but they don't want to do the work to get to the prize. Everybody is
Sometimes
fighting each other about this, and there's some people. I don't know where has it become that you step on someone's foot and they want to take you out. You see, you barge someone down, they want to take you out. You even if you say sorry to some people these days, they want to take you out. Like, what did I do to you? I just it was an accident. No one want to say, okay, I understand. We're all going through this. See you later. No, a lot of people they just
mhm.
I don't know what the wiring has happened to the brain cells or whatever the connectivity in the brain. A lot of it is missing, and I don't care what anybody is. Some of these old folks that are not around with us anymore, they were the real people that kept us together.
I think everybody family feel that Rambo. Everybody family feel that. It's a video going around TikTok and you can see it on Instagram. I don't really see it on YouTube too much. Prince was a profound dude. Two of my favorite people is Prince and Mike Tyson. I know he got hit in the head a lot, but he say some really deep shit too. Uh, but Prince talk about growing up in Minneapolis and how he remember. And like I said, yeah, I am a conspiracy theorist because everything's conspiracy up until it ain't no more. Y'all ever seen that video of Prince where he was talking about how he was young and he remembered first time he started seeing chemtrails and how everybody in the neighborhood started acting different and shit. Prince was young, Prince was healthy, so was Michael. I ain't gonna go down that rabbit hole too deep, but y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah, he said that shit. He sure did. Baby, we getting pausing day in and day out. A show I used to watch had an episode of a kid, an adolescent who was just a wild, crazy kid. And they go deeper than that with the lead paint and all of this kind of shit. But lead exposed, you know how some of these how many some of these projects and hoods and shit back before people quit drinking tap water altogether. You know how much lead you done drink? Do you
Yeah,
know how much lead you done drink? You got water purification systems, whether it's a Berkey or this or that. Look at your filter sometimes. Look at those. Everybody ain't got reverse osmosis right now. Your tap water, even if you ain't you cooking with it still. Put one of them electrodes down in that bitch and let that mercury and lead and all that other shit start bubbling up to the top.
Yep.
Hell yeah,
you
people crazy. But I
you
land right there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I mean, I, I try my best not to do this thing, but at the same
Man,
time,
you
let me.
better say what you want to say. Shit. You better go
No,
and
y'all
talk,
give.
bro.
I mean, Rambo just dropped I don't know how many nuggets, and I'm trying my best to focus. But at the same time, think about this, fam. Um, we born in this world, right? And I keep saying we came into this world with the game already in play. And it's not about us stopping the game, reversing the game. We're going to have to learn the game and then learn how to navigate through the game to survive. Because people say you are accomplished based on you surviving your circumstances, right? So let's just keep it what it is. History has showed LSD, crack cocaine, everything. It came from disruption of mankind. Pharmaceutical, all this, it come from disruption of mankind. Now, are there some good beneficial things to all of this? Maybe a little crack won't hurt you. I'm not saying it will or it won't. Maybe a little meth may enhance certain situations. I won't say will or what it won't. But the whole intent, Agent Orange, whatever decade, it don't matter what decade, don't matter what time, it's all about greed, and we are the pieces to the game. We are not the controller of the game, and game pieces, Pac-Man, the little dots on there.
Yep.
No one
One of my
says
favorite games.
what happened to the dot that got ate up? No one says that dot had a family. No one says that dot had kids and grandkids. No one cares about the dot. They thinking about let's get to that block on Pac-Man. Let's eat those ghosts. No one thinks about the ghost got a family. Nobody thinks about the corner. Nobody thinks about what corner it was, the impact of the community of the corner. No one thinks about it. So it's programmed for you to keep going to the bag, keep going to this, keep going to that. So fast forward, understand that we are game pieces, we're in the game, and the only way that we can be beneficial to the game controller is by playing the game. And if we stop playing the game, then that's a problem. You know, if we get outside the board, then that's a problem, right? Then you got to make sure you protect yourself against that. But all that to say is going back to tying in that the moment that we say, my life matters, what matters is my family, what matters is my connection, my network. And when I say family, I ain't talking about just bloodline. I'm talking about people that I can connect with, people that's going to support me, help me. And what I mean by support, we already talked about. Don't mean agreeing with none of that, but manifesting growth, prosperity, and development and enhancing of my spirituality, right? So the moment we find that groove, there will be disruption. And when disruption comes, we got to understand that it means you going about moving in the right direction. The moment you do that, you're going to lose some people. People going to drop off. People going to isolate you. They're going to call you crazy. But then the moment you accomplish a milestone, they're going to rally for you and be for you. And then the moment that that milestone become complacent to them, they're going to go back to revert to whatever. And then you're going to hit another milestone, move on. My point is, this thing in this life, we own nothing. We have nothing. But we got to make sure that the dash between our birth date and our end date means something. We can help somebody. We can, and what I mean by help, it means meeting people based on what they need, where they are, helping them to achieve what they need. It's not no judgment. If you don't see that being a psychologist matters, you ain't gonna make no money. It don't matter. Promote them, help them, because they got a purpose. They living in their purpose. Oh, I want to be a dog veterinarian. I want to be a veterinarian. It don't matter. Support them. It's something positive. Support them. And then you continue to go on your way and move in your purpose, move in your light, and then keep moving, meeting people, interacting with people, and be a light to every life that you come in contact with. Some of them going to try to put out your light. You look at them and you deal with them like war. Stop. For some reason, we so loving and kind, and I know you don't like that word we, but I'm gonna use that word we. We want to forgive, we want to make reason, we want to no, we need to ultimately destroy, eliminate opposition. Because that's the way we've been taught that they ultimately destroy and eliminate and then continue to move forward and then play that game to where you can obtain resources and then use those resources to enhance and help somebody else at the end of the day.
Because what's the point of having so much and you don't help?
The whole point in having something is to give. What's the point in having a flower or a seed and you ain't dropping it? You know that Rambo, you just rubbing me the wrong way at that time to the part where it's like, bruh, the whole point in us having a flower is to multiply it. The whole point in Rambo, you having your beautiful green gift in your hands and your cultivation and your inspiration and your motivational words, your accent, your flow, your swag is to inspire and motivate others and spread it amongst the world and try
Yep,
to find a platform that you can do it more and more. And if you ain't doing that, what we doing? What we doing at the end of the day?
exactly. Some people say like I talk too much about plants. Like that's what I love. Like I always tell like when I see people, because obviously when I have young children or see people on the streets, I try to encourage them like whatever your dream is, even if I don't care what your dream is, because my dream is different to yours. I will say go for your dreams. Do not give up on your dreams because that's the thing that you're going to be amazing at. That is your skill and that's your talent. Sometimes it takes us a while to realize what our skill is. Because I remember when I was a young person in Jamaica, I hate being on the farm because I come from a farming community. And look at me now. I love it more than anything else. I hate it so much that I love it. And
That's
that's what
what
I'm
it
good
do.
at.
Yep,
That's what
yep.
I'm good at.
That's what it do. And that's the beautiful thing. Your purpose, you cannot run away from your purpose, fam.
I try to run away from it. I'm telling you, man.
You can run, you can duck, and you can hide, but it will always bring you near.
I
Like
am
a
at
man.
peace in that garden. I am at peace. And I try to encourage people like, don't ever give up on your dream. Don't matter if you have 10 people around you and one out of that 10 person say, keep going to your dream. That's the person that is going to make sure you keep going. Some of us out here are dream killers because some of us when you were growing up, when you tell the people around you like, oh, I wanted to be like, oh, a footballer or I wanted to be like a coach or something like that. I say you ain't gonna be no coach. You're just gonna be in Burger King and stuff like that and selling whatever. And I think that's how a lot of people end up getting in their head and they start thinking like that. We gotta stop the dream killing. We need to start making sure we're encouraging people if they love something. When you hear the children and they say, "Oh, I want to be a doctor," say, "Okay, yeah, that's amazing. You can become a doctor. Keep going. You're going to be a great doctor." That's their purpose. You're encouraging them to do the thing that they love. They have something about them that they wanted to do. Maybe later on they might change it, but at least you've encouraged them to get a stage where they can either change it or help other people around them. They might become a doctor and then suddenly start speaking about what they can do else in the doctor field. We don't know, but we're always cutting off people's legs before they start to run, and it's so sad. Hey, Bayou.
Totally agree.
I'm still here. I'm listening. I'm just enjoying the conversation,
We
family.
we lost one. You know what, my brother? I'm finna drop off because me, I could just keep going on and on. But I just want to
I'm gonna go soon because it's 1 o'clock in the morning here.
I just want to say thank you so much for continue to doing what y'all do, dropping this knowledge, and then exploring the creativity in your minds. And the beautiful thing about every time you go live, my brother, is that you deal with the real, and it's so much suppressing of real and trying to be agreeable to a false type mindset that, man, it's just so refreshing to just deal with real. And Miss Collins, I fault you for me going live because you're the reason why I just came up here. because your encouragement too. So everybody encourage everybody. What's up, Urban Garden Chronicles? What's
Hey,
going
Urban, how
on?
you
What's
doing?
up?
Joe
What's up,
VAQ.
UGC?
What's going on, Joe VAQ?
Jova Q. Who else come in here a while ago? Bayou. What's up, Bayou Sugar? Hey man, I appreciate y'all kind words. I will say this, my brothers. When you talk about walking to or moving through or your purpose or the people who speak negatively or discourage you or whatever, um, and your calling, I'm not saying my calling is more difficult than anybody else's, but when you are a talker, a thinker, and a doer to finish it all off, well, that shit ain't always easy. It ain't always easy at all because people real quick to say, well, yeah, you talk. He just run his mouth. He just, bitch, the people who close to me, the ecos of the world, people who I actually talk to, they know how I'm down here moving. I ain't got to show everything. I ain't got to do everything to your satisfaction. That don't mean shit ain't getting done. It just mean your ass can't see it. I might not fuck with you enough. That's why. Hell. But anyway,
Ooh. My
shit,
brother.
we gonna keep this shit a book. But yeah, I'm out here doing things for real. If you know, you know. If you in
Well,
that,
Trust
if
me, I
you
definitely
in,
know.
this is the crazy thing. Whether we like it or not, is if we this is anytime we have breath within us, we out here doing the damn thing. I don't care whether you pedaling, I don't care whether you pushing, I don't care you turning wrenches, I don't care what you're doing. In order to have life, you out here doing the damn thing at the bottom line.
Remember, in your tribe,
facts, bro.
you will need people with different skills. And in that tribe, everybody has their place. Each skill is
Mm-hmm.
valuable to every person in that tribe. Regardless if some people don't agree with it or not agree with what I'm saying, everybody has value within each individual in this world. We have value. Don't underestimate your value. You have a purpose and you have a value. Don't let no one
Absolutely.
take that from you. There's a lot of people out here that will love to take that from you. Don't be
Mm-hmm.
discouraged. You are someone and you have a book. I always say to people, like even myself, we are books within ourselves and we have chapters, may be able to help someone, but we are books. We carry a book. Every day you wake up, you are a part of a book. You're walking your next chapter. Some of us write it down, some of us vocalize it. We are valuable.
Facts. Facts. I agree, my brother. I agree. Both of these gentlemen finna part ways. I will part ways as well. Anybody who in here listening, y'all do me a solid and make sure you go follow Country TX2, all one word. Country, the letters TX2, the number two, all one word. Um, as I kind of, even though TikTok is back for right now, less and less of my lives gonna be over here. More of them gonna be over on the Country TX2 side. Mr. Stewart, even though you ain't here no more, I thank you. I appreciate you for coming up. Rambo, of course, my brother. Thank you. It's always good to hear from you.
It's a
Uh,
blessing, man. It's a blessing, family. Trust me.
shit, Eco, man, bro, you already know what it is. You already know what it is, man. Um, and I
And don't be
appreciate
silly. One
Adina.
day I'm gonna come over there and I'm gonna see you. Don't be scared when I see you.
Hey, one day, baby. One
I
day, it's
gotta go
gonna happen,
stateside, so
Rambo.
I have to come. I'm going there. And the best thing about it is, what state you in?
Texas,
Where is my sister is in? When? Texas, Houston, Texas.
Texas.
My nephew is
Yeah.
there. I gotta come and see my family. So
Hey,
I'll be
man,
there.
we gonna make it happen. You should
I
try to
need
get
some money
home
though.
this May.
I can't walk on water like Jesus, so I need some money.
We might set up a GoFundMe or something, man.
I'm
Make it
coming, man.
happen.
That is a fact. That's a fact. That is a
Well,
fact,
I
man.
can't wait to see you, brother. I can't wait to see you,
Eco,
family, for
you never
real.
know either. You just never know.
Florida always a welcoming state. So
Yeah,
it's
just
all
keep
good.
those alligators out of my foot. I'll be all right.
Hey, I can't control the alligators, but I'm telling you, you come through leaving Texas on I-10, you're gonna run dead. You go east way, you're gonna run dead into state of Florida, and we welcome you with open arms to Sunshine
Yeah,
State.
trust me, man. I got a lot of people in the States that need to come and see. No matter how long it takes me, I'm coming. Because I don't understand. Like, there's something about everybody that I've spoken to and I've met here that is something that spiritually I just need to see them. Do you understand what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't understand
Yeah,
certain things about spirituality, but I believe in Jesus and God and stuff like that. But there's something about the human spirit when you speak to people and that you resonate to them, see them in the flesh.
Well,
yeah.
even Jesus came down to the earth.
Oh yeah, jeez.
Yeah, didn't he
Sad that
have
we.
to?
I agree.
Yeah,
On the spiritual side of the things, man. I mean, we got, of course, we have our flesh and blood families we born into, but I also believe in having a spirit family. That's just me, and I'm gonna say this as I close this shit out. I believe in having a spiritual family as well. Many of y'all I've never met in person, ain't wrapped my arms around you, hugged you, told you to your face how good it is to see you in person, so on and so forth. But that don't negate the fact that um, it's all very real for me personally. It's all very relevant for me personally. And in the absence of so many of my flesh and blood loved ones, I would never take for granted the blessing that's been bestowed upon me to have what I call this virtual family, this online family. It ain't all good, but it ain't all bad. And I feel blessed to know so many good people who for so many years now who just who they are. They just there, you know, through the tears, through the laughter, through the jokes, through the whatever. You're there. Y'all a blessing, man. And until the next time I bid you all adieu. I thank y'all for stopping by, stopping in. Um, until the next time, y'all already know what it is. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. No matter where you at, no matter what you going through, and no matter how you feel, always keep it real, baby. And we'll holler.